Last week, we ended this story with the house burning. Everything was on fire. Abuelita was hurt, but they were all alive. So let's continue on. Mama, Abuelita, and Esperanza slept in the servants' cabin. They really didn't sleep much, but they didn't cry either. They were numb, as if encased in a thick skin that nothing could penetrate. And there was no point in talking about how it happened. They all knew that the uncles had arranged the fire. At dawn, still in her nightgown, Esperanza went out among the rubble. Avoiding the smoldering piles, she picked through the black wood, hoping to find something to salvage. She sat on an adobe block near what used to be the front door, and looked over at Papa's rose garden. Flowerless stems were covered in soot. Dazed and hugging herself, Esperanza surveyed the surviving victims. The twisting forms of wrought iron chairs, unharmed cast iron skillets, and the mortars and pestles from the kitchen that were made from lava rock and refused to burn. Then she saw the remains of the trunk that used to sit at the foot of her bed, the metal strap still intact. She stood up and hurried toward it, hoping for a miracle. She looked closely, but all that remained were black cinders. There was nothing left inside for some day. Esperanza saw her uncles approaching on horseback and ran to tell the others. Mamma waited on the steps of the cabin with her arms crossed, looking like a fierce statue. Alfonso, Hortensia, and Miguel stood nearby. Ramona, said Tio Marco, remaining on his horse. Another sadness in so short a time. We are deeply sorry. I have come to give you another chance, said Tio Louis. If you reconsider my proposal, I will build a bigger, more beautiful house, and I will replant everything. Of course, if you prefer, you can live here with the servants, as long as another tragedy does not happen to their homes as well. There's no main house or fields where they can work, so you see that many people's lives and jobs depend upon you. And I'm sure you want the best for Esperanza, do you not? Mama didn't speak for several moments. She looked around at the servants who had gathered. Now, her face did not seem so fierce, and her eyes were damp. Esperanza wondered where the servants would go when Mamma told Tio Luis no. Mamma looked at Esperanza with eyes that said, "Forgive me." Then she dropped her head and stared at the ground. I I will consider your proposal, said Mamma. Tio Luis smiled. I'm delighted. I have no doubt that you will make the right decision. I will be back in a few days for your answer. Mamma, no, said Esperanza. She turned to Tio Luis and said, I hate you. Tio Luis ignored her. And Ramona, if Esperanza is to be my daughter, she must have better manners. In fact, today I will look into boarding schools where they can teach her how to act like a lady. Then he turned his horse, dug his spurs into the animal, and rode away. Esperanza began to weep. She grabbed Mama's arm and said, "Why? Why did you tell him that?" But Mama was not listening to her. She was looking up as if consulting the angels. Finally, she said, "Alfonso, Hortensia, we must talk to Abuelita. Esperanza and Miguel, come inside. You are old enough to hear the discussions." "But Mama took Esperanza by the shoulders and faced her. "Mija, my daughter, do not worry. I know what I'm doing." And that's where we're going to leave it for today. Okay, bye.